Turkey just took a major step forward with its homegrown stealth fighter jet, and Saudi Arabia is watching very closely. The Kaan fighter program is moving from prototypes to actual production planning, and there's a real possibility that one of the Middle East's biggest military powers might become a partner. Today we're breaking down what just happened, what it means for Turkey's defense industry, and why the Saudis are so interested. So let's start with what just happened in Turkey. During a recent visit to Turkish Aerospace's facilities, officials got to see something pretty remarkable. 3 different Kaan aircraft, all at different stages of development, sitting side by side. You've got the original prototype that made its first flight back in 2024. Then there's a second prototype that's getting ready to take to the skies. And alongside those, there's a full-scale test aircraft being used for structural testing. Now, why is seeing 3 aircraft at once significant? Because it shows that Turkey isn't doing this step by step anymore. They're running multiple work streams in parallel. Flight testing, structural validation, and production preparation are all happening at the same time. That's the sign of a program that's maturing and getting serious about actually building these things at scale. Haluk Gorgin, who heads Turkey's defense industry's secretariat, confirmed something really important during this visit. They're starting the contractual process for delivering Kaan aircraft to the Turkish Air Force. Now, to be clear, this isn't the green light for mass production yet, but it's the formal beginning of transitioning from "we're still developing this" to "we're planning how to build these for real." For those who aren't familiar with Kaan, let me give you the quick rundown. This is Turkey's answer to 5th-generation fighters like the F-35 or China's J-20. It's designed to be Turkey's next-generation combat aircraft for decades to come. The Kaan has all the features you'd expect from a modern stealth fighter. Stealth design, low observable features to avoid radar detection, internal weapons bays, keeps missiles and bombs hidden inside the aircraft to maintain that stealthy profile, advanced avionics and sensor fusion, multiple sensors working together to give pilots a complete battlefield picture. Network-enabled operations, it can share data with other aircraft and ground systems in real time. And electronic warfare capabilities, it can jam enemy radars and communications. Multi-role capability, designed to handle both air-to-air combat and ground attack missions. Essentially, Turkey is building a fighter that can do it all, and they're doing it domestically. This is a huge deal for a country that's historically relied on imported fighters. Now, here's where things get really interesting. At the World Defense Show in Riyadh earlier this month, February 8th through 12th, there was a lot of buzz about potential Saudi-Turkish cooperation on Kaan. No deal was signed at the show. Let me repeat that. No agreement, no signature, no announcement. But the talks are real, and according to Turkish Aerospace's general manager Mehmet Demiroglu, they're in the final stage of the decision-making process. He told Breaking Defense that both sides are aiming to hit a significant milestone this year and potentially kick off the program at some level. That's deliberately vague language, but it tells us negotiations are active and progressing. So what exactly are they discussing? Reports suggest the options range pretty widely. Direct aircraft sales, Saudi Arabia just buys finished Kaan fighters from Turkey. Technology transfer, Turkey shares manufacturing know-how and allows Saudi production. Final assembly line in Saudi Arabia. This is the big one, potentially building a complete assembly facility in the kingdom where Kaan fighters would be put together. That last option would be massive. It would mean Saudi Arabia isn't just buying aircraft, they're becoming part of the production ecosystem. Let's talk about why the Saudis are even interested. This needs to be understood in the context of Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia's plan to diversify their economy and build domestic industries beyond oil. Saudi Arabia already flies some of the most advanced fighters in the world. They've got Eurofighter Typhoons and F-15SAs, which are seriously capable aircraft. They've also reportedly been trying to get involved in GCAP, that's the Global Combat Air Program, the joint UK, Italy, Japan 6th-generation fighter program. But here's the issue. those programs don't really give Saudi Arabia what they want, which is meaningful industrial participation. Buying F-15s or Typhoons means you're a customer. You write a check, you get aircraft, maybe some maintenance contracts, but you're not building an aerospace industry. GCAP is still in early development, and getting a seat at that table as a meaningful partner, not just a financer, has proven difficult. Kaan is different because it's still at a stage where a new partner can actually get involved in real ways. The Saudis could potentially participate in production, integrate their own systems or requirements, build local manufacturing capacity, develop engineering expertise, create jobs and technology transfer. Turkey needs partners and funding to scale up production. Saudi Arabia needs a program where they can be a builder, not just a buyer. It's potentially a perfect match. For Turkey, getting Saudi Arabia on board would be transformative. You're talking about serious investment capital, a guaranteed export customer, and validation of their fighter program on the international stage. If Saudi Arabia commits, other countries in the region might follow. This also changes the regional military balance. If Kaan succeeds with Saudi backing, you're looking at a Middle Eastern defense partnership that doesn't depend on Western countries or Russia. That's significant geopolitically. The big question is when. Both sides are talking about reaching a milestone this year, 2026. That could mean anything from a memorandum of understanding to a preliminary contract. Full-scale production and delivery would still be years away. As of right now, there's no formal agreement. The program is at an inflection point where domestic Turkish production planning and Saudi strategic interest are developing at the same time. Neither side has committed publicly, and exactly what any partnership would look like remains undefined. So here's where we are. Turkey's Kaan fighter program is making real progress, moving from prototypes toward production. Saudi Arabia is seriously interested in becoming involved, potentially in a big way. Talks are in final stages, but nothing's signed yet. If this partnership happens, it could reshape defense manufacturing in the Middle East and give Turkey a major win for its domestic aerospace industry. If it doesn't, Turkey will still move forward with Kaan for its own air force, but at a smaller scale and slower pace. What do you think? Will Saudi Arabia sign on to Kaan, or will they stick with Western fighters? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to stay updated on defense and aerospace news, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.